Greetings from Podcastville. The Church of What's Happening Now is brought to you by On It. Listen, it's a new year with a new set of rules. You're trying to get your life together. On It is how it starts. Alpha Brain, Shroom Tech Immune, Shroom Tech Sport. All these things can help your health and mind on a daily basis. Do me a favor. Go to onit.com and press in.
Church.
And get 10% off delivered to your house. We can't do anything for you with the weights and the kettlebells, but as far as supplements are concerned, I got you covered. I'd like to also welcome Manscaped.com to the show. You're thinking to Manscaped.com to the show. You're thinking, Joey, what the fuck is Manscaped? Let me ask you a question. Are you sick and tired of looking at your ball sack and your nuts and your dick and it's all a fucking feast of hair down there? Women don't like that shit, all right? You don't have to suffer anymore. You ever try to fucking trim your own ball hairs and stuff like that? How scary is that? You think you might cut your dick off with your little circumcision meat? You don't need that stuff. They've got precision tools for your family jewels. That's at Manscaped. They've redesigned the electric razor. The Lawnmower 2.0 is their handheld razor with skin-safe technology, so it won't sag or nick your balls or your fucking dick, all right? It'll leave that bad boy nice, clean, smooth, and pain-free. Remember what they say, if you trim the hedges, the tree looks taller. And that's what I'm talking about. So do me a favor. Right now, the church family, all you fucking savages, can get 20% off your first order when you use code CHURCH at manscaped.com. Right now, do me a favor before we even go any further. Just go to manscaped.com. Look at all the options you got. But they got the perfect package. They sent one to Lee and one to me. They got razors. They got the whole Manscaped. Listen to me. You're going to be a new man and women are going to love you with that fucking dick and that ball, pubic hair, and fucking paper toilet free. You follow what I'm saying to you? So do me a favor. The church family gets 20% off their first order when you use code CHURCH at manscaped.com. And if you order the perfect package, they'll throw in a free travel bag that you can use, but you got to use the code CHURCH to get in there. That's manscaped.com. Use promo code CHURCH for 20% off your first order. Wash your balls, cocksucker. Shave them and powder them. It's a whole new day out there. Kick that fucking mule. What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Monday morning, it's a new month. You're like, what happened to Christmas? It's up your ass. It's fucking gone, all right? It's February. It's Valentine. You got 2 weeks to get it together. So you better find somebody and fucking get some chocolates or something like that. Vladimir Caamaño is in the house. Somebody I wanted on the show for a long time. A lot of you guys have heard of him. A lot of you guys haven't. I've been hearing about him for about 2 years, and it's a pleasure to finally have you in studio.
Ships in the night, my friend.
What's going on, brother?
I'm here in LA, man. Out here for pilot season. Like we just talked about, trying to figure out what the next step is, the next role, the next show, the next thing. And just trying to keep pursuing the dream.
How old are you now?
37, bro.
And you started comedy when?
11 years ago, 10 years ago? In New York, 08, 07, around there.
After college?
Well, yeah, I graduated 03 from college.
What major?
I was psychology major.
Okay, perfect.
I was a chemistry major for the first 3 years. Couldn't hack it. It wasn't my thing. Then I switched over to psychology.
I can't see you in the Dominican Republic fucking turning powder into paste.
Oh, yeah. ¿Cuánto necesita?
¿Cuánto necesita? And originally from?
And by the way, the pharmacist, you know how it is in like Latino communities. They treat him like he's the doctor.
He's the fucking doctor. They torment your fucking life when you're the pharmacist.
And this guy just puts pills in bottles. They act like he's the doctor. Oh, yeah, what do you recommend for a broken elbow? Oh, you put a little this right there, you good.
Spanish people buy into that shit.
Yes, man.
If you watch Spanish TV, put it on late at night, they sell everything. If you're fat, you take a pill. And that's why you see Spanish people, fatter than fuck.
We don't ask for evidence.
They have fucking paperwork. They have like this liquid that you drink that you put in your food and it takes all the calories out. They sell all the bad products to Spanish
yes,
people,
bro. And then your mother says, "Eso es lo único."
Yeah.
It's the one thing. Like you said that about the last 10 medications, Mom. How is this the one thing that's going to turn the tide?
When I was a kid, I was raised on emulsive of cod.
Oh, my God, dude. That is so much vitamin A if you're not careful.
Emulsive of cod from the ages of 4 to about 10. And then she gave up.
What was the reason? Just to fortify you? Just to...
She was scared, and I got to be honest with you, that shit makes you as strong as a bull. Now they have it in strawberry flavor. Whenever I walk past CVS, I always see it and I'm tempted, but I know it tastes like
When you
ass.
drank it, it was straight. It was straight.
It started straight out of a spoon, and then I cried for a long time. Then I made my mom mix it with orange juice, and it would curdle. And you had to down that motherfucker. And it was just horrid what it does to you as a kid. But it yoked me up because I was always a sickly kid.
As he coughs.
Yeah, no, but I had tonsil problems. My tonsils would swell up. I was allergic to maple syrup. I was allergic to a lot of foods back then. And I would swell up, or it was just a fucking, I remember being like an emergency room every week for a month one time.
Damn.
From like 4 to 5. And once I started going to kindergarten in New York, and you start breathing all those fucking germs from all those nasty kids.
Your defenses go up.
They go way up.
You got no choice.
They go way up. New York in the 70s.
And that was dirty New York.
Dirty New York. Needles on the street.
E. coli started there, right? That's where E. coli started in New York?
I don't know. A lot of shit started there. That's when we were eating paint chips.
What? Yeah, lead was everywhere,
we
bro.
Have paint chip eating contest in kindergarten. Me and a bunch of retarded kids.
The tap water tasted like silver and mercury.
Yeah, you drank it all. That tap water in Jersey.
Yeah.
When I went to McKinley, that dungeon, they used to torture people down there. They put pipes, and you drank from it. It's fuck you.
And you drink it and go, ah.
Like it was good and shit.
Like it was delicious.
It's so weird how water is such a scam. Like that's the biggest scam we buy.
What do you mean?
You know what the water industry makes every fucking year?
Billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars, in the billions. And every week there's a new water company. And it's water from a backyard. At the end of the day, it's water from a backyard. A couple of years ago, Penn and Teller did a show called Bullshit.
Yeah, on Showtime. Remember that? Yeah.
On Showtime. And one of the first places they went to was a water bar in Hollywood.
A water bar?
There was a bar in Hollywood 10 years ago that was called the Water Bar. And I remember people telling me about it. You go down there and drink all these waters from around the world. And like Stinky Charlie, like Icky, Rick, fucking Theo's friend that he used to have ice from all over the world. The guy, you're in there. Wait, what are you talking about?
The water bar.
They would get like a slab of ice from like Iceland and then melt it and put like mint in it. And you would be drinking water from Iceland. So these motherfuckers, Penn and Teller, went down there and took a hose from the back and just filled it up and gave people hose water and regular.
Couldn't tell the difference.
And people were like, we really like this water and shit like that. It's just bullshit. It's just the water industry is the biggest bullshit industry that we believe in. They give you the same water.
You have a water filter at home or you drink straight out of the tap?
I drink straight. Well, I have the water. I get the water by the gallon.
Right.
So I don't know if it's good or not. Who the fuck knows what's in there? You just drink it and pray for the best. You know you're getting scammed.
Right.
You know you're getting scammed. They're not getting any water any different from anywhere else.
When you travel to different places, do you find differences in the water when you shower? Because I've been in some places where like I'll shower, skin is less dry, hair's better. Other places like you feel like
because when I come out of the shower, I'm still fat, and that's all that matters. If you find me water that makes me skin like Jesus water, that's the fountain I need. If I'm still fat, I don't know. I never really thought about it. I love showers.
So do I, bro.
I could sit in the shower for an hour. The best jokes I'll ever write is when I'm sitting in the shower for 2 hours.
You take cold showers or hot showers?
Hot. I switch it up to cold, back to hot, steaming. Sometimes if it's steaming, I'll sit on the side of the wall and make believe I'm a homeless guy that lives under the train and he lives next and he gets steam. I do a lot of fucking crazy shit in the shower. If you have a nice shower in your hotel, the chances are I'm coming back to your comedy club.
Have you done steam rooms and all that? Like steam room and sauna?
Yeah,
I love that stuff, bro.
Shit. The Hollywood Y has the best double punch combination.
What's double punch?
Double punch. They got the steam next to the sauna.
Oh, for real?
And then the pool right outside of it.
I never been to the Hollywood Y. Where's that at?
Oh, yeah, on Schrader.
What's that?
Schrader, right before you hit Vine.
What's the Hollywood Y charging these days?
It's up there, but lunchtime you go upstairs and play hoops with Denzel Washington.
At the Hollywood Y?
Yeah, they play hoops at lunchtime, and I'm talking about like ballers. Like I remember living in front because I lived across the street from it, and for years I would avoid it. When I was 400 pounds, like when I did the longest yard, I made believe it was like a woman's shelter. Women get beat up and put over there. I don't know nothing about a gym over there. And then I saw the bass player from the Red Hot Chili Peppers one day at about 11, dribbling the ball down the block. And he's, well, what are you doing here? He was, I played ball at the fucking Y every day at lunch.
Really?
And then I started hearing the rumors. And then me and my wife joined, and I became in love with it. That's why I first lost the first 100 pounds, is at that Y.
You felt comfortable there. You felt
that
good.
Y was the fucking best. The first time I went there, I went in as a swimmer. That was the easiest thing I could do. So I would go into the fat man pool. They got like a little kid pool. It's 3 feet, 90 degrees. You just float like a dog.
There's a picture of you like...
Oh, my God. I would go in there like at 4:45 in the morning. I was so embarrassed. So
Damn.
the Y opens up at 4. In those days, the Y opened up at 4:45. And I'd walk right in at 4:45.
What time would you get up?
4:20.
Jesus.
Drink a cup of coffee, smoke a joint, and shoot right.
Pre-game, like
Pre-game.
pre-workout, your pre-workout.
Pre-workout. And I would go over there, and I would sit in the steam first, the wooden one that you throw water on the rocks.
Yeah.
Sauna. Yeah.
The sauna.
Yeah.
I would sit in there first.
Warm up
and
the
I would
body.
stretch in there, and then I would go into the steam room and put eucalyptus on that motherfucker. And they'll tell you not to throw water on it. I throw gallons in there. You couldn't even look. It was like fucking, there could be a fucking black dude sitting next to you, and you couldn't tell. There was so much fog in that fucking room.
No, when they walk in, you go, hey, what's up? They go, what?
Yeah. And then I would go back into the steam, and then I would do a lap. I'd do a half hour in the pool, kicking, moving my arms. Just when I was 418 pounds, I wasn't athletic. I had just stopped exercising. So I just went back in the pool, went back to basics, started pulling myself and shit. And I did that for a few months. And then I just started punching the bag. I would hit the bag there in the afternoons. I would go there like 8:45. It would close at 10. So I would go to 8:45. I would hit the bag and ride the stationary bicycle. But something happened. One day I jumped in the pool. I went in the afternoon, and I thought that the fat man pool was going to be open. And it was filled with Russian women and a bunch of little kids pissing in there. So I signed up for the Olympic pool. And I put my name in the Olympic pool, not even fucking thinking. And I put my goggles on. Because I used to swim before I went to prison, I swam. I was part of the master swimming program in Boulder. And I swam 3 times a week, fucking all out with a coach, timers. I learned
Backstroke,
everything,
freestyle,
everything.
Dog, you're doing all the strokes.
You get in there and they'd have a blackboard with what you had to do. Level 1 had to do 8/880s with the 30-second rest and 2-minute intervals. Level 2 had to do this.
And Colorado has higher elevation too.
Oh, yes. And when you went, and if it snowed, you still had to go. It was outside.
It was an outdoor pool?
So they would shovel the fucking path from the locker room to the 2 entrances and the diving board. And you had to walk through the snow and jump in. It was a heated pool. Don't get me
Oh, I
wrong.
thought I was going to say, damn.
It was a heated pool. So I learned how to swim. So I went back into this. So I get there, and I said, let me go into the Olympic pool. And without thinking, I jumped, and it was completely different. It was like 58 degrees, which right away takes the oxygen right out of your fucking lungs, bro. And I'm in the middle of the pool. I'm like 4 laps in, and there's people next to me like fucking,
Just going.
like boats, just flying. And I'm going for my life. I'm swimming. I'm doing everything I can. I'm kicking. I got the form down. Bro, I pop up and I spun backwards. Like I was pointing like 2 o'clock in that direction. And I
Bermuda
was,
Triangle.
dog, I was already starting to drown. And I just held onto the rope. And people were like, stop holding onto the rope. And then when they would take off, I would swim from rope to rope like Tarzan under the pool until I got to the edge. And that's when The Sopranos was really hot. So I kept walking into this Y. And the one day I went in the afternoon, and as soon as I walk in, these 3 little lifeguards come up to me and they're like, you're the dude from The Sopranos. I'm like, dog, get the fuck away from me. I'm not the dude from The Sopranos. Leave me alone. So now I'm drowning. I'm holding on to the wall and they see this. And they're like, Mister, are you okay? And I'm like, no, get me out of here. I can't breathe. And they could see it. Like I was in panic. I had a panic attack. The color from my face is gone. I was starting to lose like consciousness and shit. And they hit the buzzer. They hit the panic buzzer for everybody to come in.
Wow. Embarrassment.
And then they told me, swim to the middle. and we'll drop a hoist in to pull you out like orca. You swim in, like, bro, you swim
I mean, are they just sitting there going, how can we make this more embarrassing for
Yeah,
him?
they go, let's go back into
I know
the
he's on
middle.
The Sopranos.
That's what I'm saying. There's a writer's room.
They were going to drop a net in, and then you swim into the net, and the net pulls you out. And then the thing comes around, and I'm like, guys, I can't swim back out there. Like, my legs are done. I'm done. Like, this is crazy. And finally they go, let's pull them out. So the three little Mexican kids, 2 little Mexican kids got one arm, and the chick's got the other arm.
And you're still panicking.
I'm 4'18", I'm panicking. I'm trying to keep it together. And they're pulling, and ain't nothing going on. And I said, God, if you get my one leg out of here, I will go to church every fucking Sunday.
It's all about goals. Get the one leg out, guys.
That's it.
The one leg.
Dog, I threw that 190-pound piece of meat over, and I hung there for a few minutes. They had me by the hair.
It's called pacing, Lee. You got to pace yourself.
And I spun myself over, and I rolled like 2 or 3 times.
Oh my God.
And I got up like miraculously, and everybody had stopped in the pool and was looking at me.
Miraculously. I got up miraculously.
Bro, miraculously.
Miraculously.
Because I was out of breath. I was all huffed and puffed out.
God.
Now I had to pick up 418 pounds. Here I am with a bikini, 9 inches of fat hanging over the bikini from all directions.
Wait, you were wearing a Speedo?
No, I would never wear a Speedo,
Okay.
but no matter what I wore,
Yeah,
my
sure.
gut was hanging 6 inches
Okay.
over. And I'm in the middle of this fucking huge Olympic pool, and the people are frozen. Everybody's time is freezing. And thank God I put my towel. Like most people put their shit in a locker. No. I don't trust nobody. I kept my towel with a warm-up jacket and my keys to the house in the warm-up jacket, like 10 feet away. And while they're talking to me, they're like, are you okay? Do you want oxygen? I'm like, yeah. So as I'm walking out, I look, and I see the ambulance.
They call the ambulance.
They
They call
an ambulance
911.
on me, bro.
How can we make this more embarrassing?
And I see them coming in like with the thing, and I put my jacket and I put the hood on,
In disguise.
and there's like a side door, and I went around and I came out through the fucking side with a locker. When you go into the Y, you can either go on the girl's side or the boy's side. I came through there, and the little kids kept running after me. Mister, the ambulance is here. They want to help you. And I'm like, fuck, his red band had just gotten pulled out. He took an edible, and he called an ambulance on himself. And they charged him $1,800 to go there.
Whoa.
So I said, fuck you. That's all I kept thinking about was $1,800. I ain't giving nobody $1,800. And dog, as I walked out of there, the kids kept saying to me, are you going to be okay? You going to be able to work on The Sopranos? And I'm like, I'm not that. And before I said that, I go, yeah, I'm going to be working on The Sopranos. And I just walked out
Wow.
of there and left and never came back from the embarrassment. And then about 4 months later, I went in there and nobody said a word to me. Until about 5 years later, I see a kid from the Y at the vet I go to. I had to pick up food for my cat. And I see the young kid a different kid from the Y there. I had known him for maybe a month. And as I get in my car, I felt bad. And I go, are you going to the Y? And he goes, yeah. I go, I live right across the street. Do you want to ride? And he goes, yeah. I go, get in the car. We get in the car. We start driving. I go, how long you been working at the Y? Just small chatter. He goes, oh, for a while. And a couple of years ago, I almost drowned at the Y. And without missing a beat, and he didn't look at me. He goes, I know. That's the first story they told me when I got the job there.
They probably showed them the security footage. They probably have tapes of the incident.
Motherfuckers.
I wonder if you're part of like the training program. Like,
I just
When you
ran
let them
out.
out the car, where you said, listen, this stays between us.
No, I didn't say nothing. I was just like, in a way, I was shocked, but I wasn't surprised. I still kept going. I still bared the embarrassment, but what are you gonna do?
Dude, I wasn't that big. I was a chubby kid in grade school and high school. And I hated when you were playing basketball and they would say shirts and skins. As you know, shirts and skins is one team shirtless, one team shirts. I was at a tournament in the Heights with my older brother, and they couldn't afford T-shirts for both teams, so they had one team with shirts, and they were like, the rest skins. I happened to be on the skins team, bro. I disappeared. No one knew where I was at. This is before cell phones, and they were short like a man because I was like, I'm not wearing skins to play ball, bro. These titties are not leaving the shirt. Because of the shame. You feel ashamed.
I would have traded myself. I'd be like, I'm gonna go to the other team.
That's what I should have done. I should have negotiated a trade deal, but I didn't have an agent at the time to navigate those waters. But yeah, it's shame, bro. Like showing your body's a big deal. Were you the kid that would wear a t-shirt like to the pool? Were you ever that guy?
I wasn't a fat kid.
It was older when you got older.
I was older when I got here. Was when I really got fat. All that, I was always in good shape, and I would, I wasn't body conscious at all. You get what you get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get fucked up shoulders, you get fucked up shoulders. Listen, you can sit at home on Saturday and Sunday. You can go down there to the pool, make believe like you're fucking Superman. And that's exactly what I did. I just made believe like I was just a regular person. Like whatever body disposition you have, you're not going to stay at home. I met a girl here years ago. We didn't date or anything. We were friends. And there was something we were going to do at the beach. And I said to her, at the Comedy Store. She was a waitress at the store.
Right.
And I said, you going to go to the event? And she goes, I don't go to outdoor events. I go, why not? She goes, because that means you got to wear shorts and I got to show my legs. And this girl was really pretty. But she felt her legs were too short. And I felt like saying, guys don't give a fuck about your legs. They just give a fuck about what's between the fucking legs.
Right.
Don't worry about your legs. She was like, I'm really embarrassed about my calves and my legs so a lot. And she goes, I'm looking into surgery.
Really? Like calf implants, right?
Yeah, this is 20 years ago. She's long gone, She was just a nice girl that worked at the store.
It scars you, bro. It scars you. Like my dad when I was growing up, he hated like shape ups. Like, when you get a haircut, the barber gives you a shape up. He was like, eso de tigre. That's what hoodlums do. So I would go to school with a haircut, but no shape up. So my line was just a roadmap. Teachers would make fun of me. Kids would make fun of me. I didn't get my first shape up till I was a senior in high school. And if you know New York, you know New York, Jory, haircuts matter. The haircut you got, the fade, the lineup, like that matters. That girls like that.
Where'd you grow up?
And I was born in the Heights. And then
the Heights is 181st Street around there.
181st Street.
That's Dominican Village.
Dominican Village. You know what it is. It used to be Jewish.
Right.
Neighborhood changed. My aunt's husband was a super on 181st in Fort Washington.
Okay, so there used to be a movie theater.
Dude.
On the corner.
Yes.
A black movie theater. And then down the block, there was another one that showed $2 for a $5 movie.
I think the one right before Broadway, right?
Right.
The Coliseum, when you step in the floor, is mad sticky because nobody cleaned it.
Right, for 20 years.
Bro, Lee, this was it was filthy in there, bro.
And then 50 yards from that was a Carvel.
Yo, the Carvel was now.
Who the fuck do you think you're dealing with, Joey?
The
Bananas? That was my hood, dog.
is the first place I tried ice cream cake.
That was, dog, that's my fucking... When I knew about that neighborhood as a child, and I went up there to cop weed at 179th.
By the bus terminal.
Right by the... So I would get off the bus, and I would walk 2 blocks. I would shoplift.
He had a to-do list. I got a shoplift at 11.
Dog, come on, dog. When I was a starving comic, my third year comedy, I got a job working on 57th and 11th at those car dealerships.
Way out. That's way on the west side.
Way on the west side. So I would go over the George Washington Bridge. There were mornings I woke up. I didn't have money for the fucking bus.
Wow,
so
man.
I would have enough for a bagel or the bus. It would either be a bagel and a Coke.
Damn.
Or a bus. So I would take the fucking bagel and then go to Safeway. I'd have a briefcase like a salesman with a suit. And I'd steal yeast infection medication and aspirins. And then I'd walk it across the bridge. And all those bodegas on the other side, they would buy all that shit, yeast infection in boxes from me. And then, and then I would take my money, buy drugs, breakfast, and I had money for the rest of the day.
Where'd you get the idea to sell that to the bodegas? Where'd you get the idea?
Junkies told me. Junkies would do that.
It's like a TED Talk.
Junkies would do that, tell me all the time. Whenever you need money, go to Fort Lee or somewhere there and shoplift yeast infection, like anticephalic, like
acetaminophen,
like high-level aspirin. There was something else they liked. I can't remember what it was that they sold a lot of. So there was such a big yeast infection population in that area. that I would go to Safeway and they would have like the 10 of them out on the shelf, but then right over it they would have a box of that. I would just take the whole box and put it in the briefcase and walk over and they would give me like $35 a box. That's $70.
Wow.
So if you get off on 178
cash.
So if you get off on 178, there used to be OTB.
Oh, off-track betting. Right when you walked in. It's still there. I think it's still there.
Best times I had in my life. Creepiest people you'll ever see. The best fist fights ever were at OTB.
If you think the UFC is good,
If you
go
think
to the OTB on 170,
Bro.
178.
So I had a system. I would get off Port Authority. I would cross the street, and that's 179. Right there, right?
I know exactly where it is.
And I would walk down the corner, and there would be Cubans there. This is 1984, 83, 85.
So crack hasn't hit yet.
Crack was hitting, but it wasn't on that block. That block was strictly reefer. It was Cuban refugees from Mariel. And you would go down there, buy weed, and there was a bodega. I'd go in there, get a fucking Coco Rico and a pack of rolling papers, Easy Wider, and I'd go in the alley. I'd fucking roll the joint. I had a Walkman in those days with a cassette, and I'd play the Walkman, and I'd walk back to Broadway smoking the joint. And then when I hit 187, I'd go down to 176, and there was a Cuban restaurant there.
176 and what?
Broadway. Right there was a Cuban restaurant, and right around the corner there was a park. So sometimes I would go to the Cuban restaurant, go to the bathroom, roll another joint.
Is that by that big theater?
Yes!
The old church?
The old church.
Yeah.
The old church where in Sleepers.
I'm gonna see. I might say, what's the name of that theater? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I remember the theater, and then down the corner is the hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
165 is the hospital on Broadway. I know that. I knew that area like that. You know how many times I went in that theater because it was windy, and I would just put a joint in the corner and smoke it to try to get the wind out. You know how many times I went to that theater? That was my hangout neighborhood because I worked on 52nd and 7th. So I didn't have to be in till 5. You know me, dog. I'm an early riser. I get up at 10 ready to rock.
4 a.m. to go hit the pool.
So I would fucking go into the city, go do all that. All that shit was done by 11:30. So by the time 11:30 came, I had an option. I could go to Carvel and hit the 2 movie theater, the double feature. That's why I saw Thief of Hearts and Scarface.
You saw Scarface in the theaters?
But they replayed it with Thief of Hearts. Thief of Hearts was a movie Stephen Bauer did 2 or 3 years later. That was horrendous. It was horrendous.
So they were trying to parlay the Scarface into
with Thief of Hearts. It was Thief of Hearts, Scarface, and then I saw. That's the first time I ever sat through. I saw Office and the Gentleman, and I saw fucking American Gigolo.
Crazy.
And I had seen American Gigolo, and I hated Richard Gere, but I went to Office and the Gentleman because I had to kill 2 hours of work. It was cold out there, but it was one of my favorite movies. And then, so now I would always have a choice between 178 or 181st on the corner, but 181st was a black movie theater.
So it was a different crowd.
It was a different vibe.
Right.
This was the other place was the sticky floor, where it was filthy and people jerk. Because I think at night they showed porn there.
Oh my God, who knows what they showed in there, dude? The seats were all torn up, bed bugs were all over the place.
It was terrible. I think I got bugs there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I got crabs in there. It was disgusting.
The tickets weren't even like tickets.
Yeah, it was
like,
$1 for 2 movies.
It was brutal, man.
It was $1?
Yeah, it was
brutal.
1983.
It was brutal.
Oh yeah, that's pretty awesome.
1984, 1985. But if you walked 50 yards up, they had like a modern Lowe's and shit.
Right.
And the first movie I wanted to see in there was the Shogun of Harlem.
You talking about The Last Dragon?
The Last Dragon. And black people were going crazy. And
Have you seen that movie, Lee?
I think I've seen pieces with Joey.
That's the first time.
Bro, these are cultural moments in New York.
That's the first time I saw that I had heard about black movie theaters. I had heard about black people in movie theaters, but that's the first
and there's a movie
time.
theater scene in that movie.
Yes, there's a movie theater scene in that movie. They go into that movie.
Yes.
So I went to
Barry
see
Gordy.
that.
Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
That's tremendous movie. The Shogun of Harlem, which he just died 2 years ago.
Are you serious?
He just died 2 years ago. We even put it up. We even put it up because it was on it was like on Twitter. It's a sad day in martial arts history.
Yo, such a classic,
the
bro.
Shogun of Harlem died. Fucking Vanity.
Vanity was in it. Remember the villain, the guy with the piranhas?
Yeah, the guy with the piranhas and the guy from Goodfellas.
Who guy from Goodfellas? Who?
That was his bodyguard. The guy, I totally untraceable. He plays the bodyguard to the little guy in there.
The villain. The villain, yeah.
The villain. That guy did 1,000 movie roles. God bless him.
He was a character actor, right?
He was a character actor. I see him at the store. He's Frenchie in Goodfellas. He played Frenchie.
For real?
Yeah, he's Frenchie in Goodfellas. Same guy. Rogan knows him really well.
That's hilarious.
But I'm going to tell you what movie taught me the most about life, about African American people. deep down inside, bro, African American people love white people. They really do. And that's why they get so hurt. Because every black person, every African American person you meet, if you talk to them a little bit and get to know them, they dig something white and they're ashamed to say it. Like, I had an African American friend that wouldn't tell nobody he was a fucking Beatle fan. In the 70s, if you were black, you couldn't tell a motherfucker you like the Beatles. They smack you. Your three black cousins would smack
I see your
the
point.
shit out
I
of
see.
you.
No, there was something about certain values that were associated with whiteness. Because I remember having similar experiences in grade school and high school.
New York
like
was the king of that
if
shit.
you read something, it'd be like, why you reading that shit? You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. You hide it. Because you're right. It was associated with like white society. And it was a shame thing about it. Like, but you're right. It's
There was a guy when I did The Long and Short, my dear friend, her husband was African American. And we had been dear friends. I mean, dear friends. He's from Compton. He grew up in gangs and shit.
Right.
You know, the whole fucking thing. And do you know what she told me once? She goes, Joey, he's on his way to Hollywood to take a picture because he wants to be an extra in The Longest Yard. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, he's a big Adam Sandler fan. I go, your husband, the gang member with the gun. Yeah. He thinks Adam Sandler's like Jesus Christ. So African Americans really do love. They have white heroes. They really do. They have to be like me. I'm Cuban and I had white heroes. They have to be.
and we love The Godfather.
Yeah,
Like,
we love The Godfather. So guess what movie I saw that made black people almost kill each other? And I've watched 1,000 movies.
What year? I want to guess this. What year was this?
85.
I'm trying to think of a really white movie.
Uh,
Like The Breakfast Club or something?
no. It's just it said
85, I saw something that I thought black people were going to kill everybody in that movie.
All right, I want to guess this. Give me a hint. Was it filmed in New York? Was it?
It's an army movie.
Army movie? Are the live viewers commenting? Trying to guess this?
No.
Okay, because this is good trivia. An army movie, 85.
Well, listen, I ain't know Houdini. Rambo.
For real? I would never guess that.
Bro, when Rambo shot that Japanese dude with the arrow that exploded, black people's heads almost blew the fuck up.
Really?
But the scene that made them go crazy was when he hit himself in the mud and the Russian was looking for him and all of a sudden his eyes opened up and he came out and stabbed the dude. Black people they were high-fiving going, that's my motherfucker. Rambo's my motherfucker. That's a motherfucker. But when he pulled that arrow back and blew that Vietnamese guy off, because in that time he had arrows that had explosives, and the guy's shooting at him, and then he runs and he shoots at him and he realizes he's out of bullets, and all of a sudden Rambo pulls the thing back, and you could hear every black person going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, no he ain't, no. And when the Vietnamese guy blew up, they fucking all were up on their feet yelling, high-fiving, what the fuck Martin Luther King. They were fucking karate chopping each other in the neck. I was like this, dog. I was looking back on, oh my God. When he shot that Vietnamese dude with the arrow and that dude blew up, African Americans went fucking nuts. They walked out of there happier than fuck. When he does that speech in the end.
Bro, I had a joke one time about, because Netflix has this new show called Black Mirror.
Black what?
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
And I was at the Gotham Comedy Club, and everybody's like, oh my God, it's so interactive. You can interact. I was like, yo, we've been doing that for years. Like, you go to any theater in New York, like in those days, we're interacting with the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I remember 42nd Street. And it was 42nd Street.
Bro, porn and
And people would get into arguments. Like, if you went to a movie, if you played hooky and went to a movie in the daytime, you know, in those days at the mental house, they would give you like a day pass, like a bus ticket.
little recess.
And give you like a little movie ticket, and you would go to the movie ticket by yourself. So a lot of those movie theaters in the daytime, the matinee, were fucked up people in New York in those days. Like that little yellow bus would pull up, and you see like guys walk out that were schizophrenic and shit. And here they are watching like a Charles Bronson movie and shit.
Where are they coming
Bro,
from?
that would never fly today.
Dog,
that would never fly.
I still remember
That would never fly today. That is hilarious.
I still
Sounds like they kidnap people with like.
I still remember being in San Francisco in '85 and paying $1 for 3 Clint Eastwood movies, like Dirty Harry, the other one, and the other one. You go in there at 11 in the morning, you don't walk out till 5. And then it starts again at 6, and you don't walk out till midnight. I mean, you got to be a fucking animal to go to those. But people, it was packed. And
That's incredible.
We were in San Francisco, and there was that one scene in one movie where he shot like 4 black dudes first, then 3 more, but then some black guy got up in the back, and this had to be 86. And he got up in the back, and he was like, if he shoots one more nigga, I'm leaving.
That is epic.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And nobody said nothing.
What I want to ask
People
you
were
about
like, shut up, man.
I want to ask you about is what was it like, and I hope you did, what was it like going to see Bruce Lee movies in the theater? Did you get that opportunity to see
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You can't describe it. You can't.
People forget how in the inner city, Bruce was a bomb, dude. Like, we would lose our minds watching those movies.
Listen, the Vietnam War made this country lose a lot of hope. You know, like the country was at a weird time. I had just gotten here from Cuba. Black people, African Americans were fighting for their shit up on 125th Street.
Harlem, right?
My mother had a barn on 127th Street, and you could feel the tension. There was a different pride to the African American in New York. I still remember walking with my best friend, the black kid, Jasper Williams, walking like on Broadway, lying to our mothers that we were going to go play checkers, and walking to buy the new James Brown hot pants.
Hot pants.
Like, I still remember me and him walking like the 120th First in Broadway. Like, nobody at the age of 5 walked 5 blocks.
Crazy. In New York, they
My
did.
daughter would never fucking walk 5 blocks. I'd kill her. But we would
Bro, you wouldn't even let her go to the grocery store by herself.
No. But, you know, it was a different time. People were, you know, you had a homie with you. Nobody was going to snatch you up. But when Bruce Lee came, Bruce Lee first appeared on the Green Hornet.
Correct.
And then he disappeared.
That's
Nobody
right.
really knew what was going on. Nobody knew his name. Just people were like, what happened to the Green Hornet? Then Fist of Fury came out.
He went to China, that's right.
The first one. And that, it was popular, but it didn't win him over. It didn't really win him over. And I'm talking to you from a New Yorker. Going to see Fist of Fury. I saw Fist of Fury at the Union City Cinema.
Hilarious.
In those days, on 48th Street, across from a barber. You were talking about barbers, and he was my barber. His name was Angelito. And he would cut your hair, and then he would put spray in your hair, like even if he didn't want it, that's shit.
He'd give it to you.
He'd give it to you.
Mad shiny for no reason.
And then he'd put purple lights on you. And he'd go, míralo, parece un gatita.
That's how you get them tips, baby.
And you would be looking in the mirror like, oh shit,
I'm a legend, baby. I'm a king.
I'm getting some pussy. Now,
I'm hitting these streets.
You got nothing. But he was right across the street from there. I remember going to see that movie and like going back that night. Like my mom had a bar on 29th Street, so 48th Street was where the movie theater was. I had to be 7, 8.
Crazy.
When Bruce Lee came out, and then he released. Then I was in Catholic school.
Which one? Where'd you go to?
Sacred Heart School for Boys in Kearney, New Jersey.
Okay.
From the 3rd to the 5th grade. In the 4th grade, I still remember taking showers, being in our pajamas, and sitting around watching Happy Days with like 14 other kids in a dormitory. And all of a sudden, they showed the trailer. Like we were all talking in between commercials. Like, yeah, we're going to play tag tomorrow. And all of a sudden, they showed the trailer for the Chinese Connection. And the room went
silent.
He sucked the air out of the room. The trailer just took the air out of the room. You knew this was going to be big. I still remember my stepdad and mom, my mom and my stepdad picking me up on Thursday night. And like going, ¿qué quieres hacer? ¿Quieres ir a comer un bistec? Do you want to go into Manhattan to see your godmother? And I'm like, we're going to see Bruce Lee tonight. Like, I'm finding a way to go see Bruce Lee. And they're like, we had so many plans. No. And I still remember my father taking me to see. But you got to remember, before Bruce Lee came, movie Five Fingers of Death. 5 Fingers of Death kicked off the Asian scene with the red hand and the iron palm technique. Then Bruce Lee came, which made it harder. But 5 Fingers of Death kicked down the door. 5 Fingers of Death kicked down the door. And then once Bruce Lee hit, that's it. New York had become a kung fu cultural event.
Yo, it was
Black
a very
people
specific
doing
time.
kung fu.
Yes, man. That's what I want to talk
They
about.
were all doing the whole thing.
That's what I want to talk about.
Harlem had its own style of kung
Shotokan
fu.
and karate and
Everything became kung fu because that's what Bruce Lee did. Everybody wanted to study Wing Chun. There was no Wing Chun in New York. Maybe one guy in the East Village. He had 9,000 students and shit. He had to teach two classes 24 hours a day.
If you watch Martin, there's a scene, even the show Martin, where that's that scene from Chinese Connection. Bruce goes, "Why did you kill my teacher? Why?"
Tremendous.
Dude, it was, and that like UFC's great now. That's all great, but like the '80s martial arts when Steven Seagal came out and Van Damme and all that other stuff. Again,
Nothing compared because there was more going on.
Right.
And you're talking about New York. So let me tell you what was going on in New York that destroyed New York. So while Bruce Lee is kicking the shit out of people, and we're all in movie theaters, and if you motherfuckers don't believe me, bitches, you better go up and draw up your stats right now because I hate Major League Baseball. But it's stuck on my thing because I don't know how to change it on Sirius. When I bought the car, I got Major League Baseball. And this morning...
I always wondered why you had those stations.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it. I got 3 Studio 54s. I only need one. I got 3 of them. This morning they were talking about fucking the Cincinnati Reds winning the pennant. And then the next season they barely made 500. And he started talking about there was something going on in this country. At this point, the Mets had just won. You gotta believe was the slogan. Fucking New York City was on fire. It was 1969 and shit. New York was dirty. There was garbage everywhere. There was
Rats.
Fucking garbage. I remember as a kid, we did everything in the daytime. But one thing we did 3 times a week, I swear to my daughter, is we kill a rat. That's when rats came out in the daytime. They didn't give a fuck, Jack. We'd be out like in the corner and go, what the fuck is that? Is that a rat? And we chase it and then hit it with rocks and then sticks.
So
and then run over it with a fucking bicycle. And after all that, then we light it on fire. We put glue on it. We light the motherfucker
Joey,
on fire.
so like people hear this and they probably like, oh my God, that's not funny. The reason I laugh is because to me that's nostalgia.
Yeah.
I've seen my dad barefoot with a broom kill rats.
Yeah.
Put in a black garbage bag and toss it out. Pa fuera.
Like nothing.
Yeah, but did he light it on fire?
That's another step.
That's when you're 6 and 7
yeah,
and
that's
8.
that's a that's a whole other level.
10 of us would be kicking this rat. The rat would be fucking a foot long.
Oh.
The rats were big. Lee.
The rats were
massive,
big.
Man.
They
They
would
had
run on
Timberland boots, gold chains.
And you would see them on the corner in between the tires. That's how we would see them. So we would always have our eyes out for rats. Very seldom did you see one. We'd see them at 6. Once it got dark, there's always that fat one that can't wait. He comes out a little early for the Moonlight Special.
Dude, you should do a voiceover with Joey as like the nature narrator.
Yeah,
you see him coming out 6 o'clock. The fat one.
That's the fat fucking rat that couldn't wait. He kicked Weight Watchers. He can't wait. He gotta
go.
And we would get them, and your mother would be yelling, "Suak, Obel."
She would yell out the window.
And we'd have the rat. In those days, we wouldn't touch it. We'd push him with a broomstick.
The broomstick. There you go.
And then we'd kill him. He would still be half alive. And then we'd start getting rocks. Go get rocks. Start throwing rocks at the motherfucker. Then bottles. And then we'd fucking get a bicycle and run over his head.
Dude, it was crazy.
And then we pour fucking butane lighter. And then we'd light him on fire. And we'd just sit there. Fuck you, bitch. Don't come on this block no more and shit. We would just yell. It was fucking crazy. Then we used to take the bottom off of chairs. There were silver caps. You took the bottom of, but back to what I'm telling you people, because it all went together. You know, Brooklyn is the 4th largest city in the nation. But
That's correct.
The other thing that Brooklyn holds that a lot of people don't know is it has every immigrant. Every country in the world has a representative there. Whether it's a half a block, whether it's a block, it's a melting pot for a lot of things. And I love it. I love that you go to Brooklyn and get Dominican food from one side of the island. I love
Jamaican
that you could
food
go get Jamaican food. You could do this stuff, whether I like it or not. It's a reality. But the early 70s in New York was focused basically on Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, not that many Dominicans yet. Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and
Italians, Italians, Jewish, right? Jewish.
A lot of Jewish. And the Vietnam War was going on, so a lot of people was losing their faith. But there was 2 faiths there was a couple of people that weren't losing their faith. You know, white people because of baseball, black people because of Bruce Lee, because even if he wasn't black, he was still representing the minority. And you had another guy that people forget. I can't even say his name because I get sad. You had a guy that was a complete gentleman. His name was Roberto Clemente.
Oh my God, man! Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this guy.
There's a statue of him in the Bronx when you go to the state park.
If you have to talk about not just a baseball player, but a gentleman all the way around, this guy, if you want to be a man in today's world,
Black Latino too.
Yeah,
Latino,
a Puerto Rican dude. If you want to fucking be a man in today's world, do me a favor. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to fucking Joe Rogan. Don't listen to Carole and none of these assholes. Go read about Roberto Clemente. Read his stats. Watch the videos of what he would do. Watch the shit. Watch him every time he did an interview. He had a shirt and tie on, and his English was perfect. He would find it disrespectful to not talk English. Like, his English was perfect. He was the perfect Latino. So he represented. This was what New York was. Everybody loves baseball, and Roberto Clemente was baseball. If you like baseball, whether you hated blacks, whites, whatever, fucking Roberto Clemente was doing something in Pittsburgh that was never seen before. He hit that fucking 3,000 hits in New York. He got his 3,000. You know, it's not how many people you shoot; it's who you shoot. Like, he could have got the 3,000 hits in Pittsburgh.
But he got in New York.
But he goes, let me do this for the Ricans in New York. These motherfuckers are down. When he hit that 3,000 hit against the Mets, Puerto Ricans were stabbing each other, jumping up and down.
And mind you, this is against the New York team.
Against the New York team that loves him. Because everybody loved Roberto Clemente. Listen, everybody, white, black. The guy was a Dodger, and they didn't touch him. They didn't talk to him because he was half dark. That's a true story. Pittsburgh got him for like $1. Pittsburgh got him for $1.
We got him on eBay. Great.
What about this guy over here in the corner? Oh, he's a black guy. He could kind of.
Why isn't that movie made? Why isn't there a Roberto Clemente movie?
Because this country doesn't know who Roberto Clemente is. It's a waste of the investment. They would not understand what a man is of that caliber. They would not understand. You just said it yourself. Your dad would come in and he'd lose his mind.
Oh, he loses his mind.
You got Charles Bronson.
Yeah, Charles Bronson. These are my dad's heroes. Charles Bronson.
Those are my heroes.
Yeah.
Those are my heroes. It's so funny that I talk about him and I think about this kid a lot daily. One of my best friends growing up was Dominican. And he was from Houston Street.
Right.
His name was Louis Hernandez. Unlike you, he was very dark-skinned. He had a little afro. But he moved into the wrong neighborhood. He moved into my neighborhood. So right away they called him Louis the Nigger. And I would tell people, he ain't black. He's Dominican.
Right.
It's the same shit. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. He's fucking Spanish.
Down these mean streets, P.D. Thomas.
But he was cool as shit. And I still think he's a psychiatrist today.
You for real?
City. Yeah. He's a psychiatrist in New York City. He could jump. That Dominican could jump, Jack. He had legs. He could jump as a fucking kid. He could almost slam dunk in the 8th grade by an inch or two.
It's a great story. The guy became a psychiatrist. That's an amazing story.
After he got tortured all those years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a nice redemptive story. But Clemente, bro, Clemente was my father. Father loves him.
When Clemente died, you didn't see Spanish people for a week.
It was so sad the way he died.
He died man. New Year's Day. You opened up the year with the death of Roberto Clemente in 1973.
It was devastating for a lot of people, man.
So now you got Bruce Lee holding the toe. Bruce Lee was holding the bell. That was it. Bruce Lee was representing, bro. And he had a new movie coming out and shit. And the movie was going to kick ass. And every Saturday, we'd go down to Chinatown and we'd buy fucking yin yang juice, like shit to drink, and shit that we put on a bag, and you would hit your hands on it and make believe your hands got strong. And I would walk around with the Bruce Lee outfit on.
Yeah.
And when Enter the Dragon came out, we lost our minds. And then there was no internet. There was no news from China. There was no breaking news.
Oh.
We went to Chinatown and we found out Bruce Lee died.
Oh.
And I remember all 5 or 6 of us just broke down in tears right there. And they had pictures from the funeral of, Steve McQueen and James Coburn and the thing over his eye. And that changed America. That changed America. Last night I was telling we were watching the U.S. versus John Lennon. When John Lennon moved to, after he did all the anti-war shit, he moved to New York and he made New York his home. Bro, I was a kid when John Lennon died. I never saw anything like that in my life. When John Lennon died, that was huge in New York. I mean, they told you, don't bring the car in. And that was 40 years ago. Almost, right? 1980, he died. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 39 fucking years. They told you, don't bring the car in because it's going to be that bad. If you go home tonight and look at anything from YouTube from John Lennon's death, look what was going on around the country. Bro, people felt it. People felt it. And the Beatles couldn't get back together. So people like me were happy. Now I could talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you with the Beatles. I got Led Zeppelin and shit. And La Sonora Matancera. You know what I'm saying? So when you got into, what made you get into comedy?
I could share this with you, Joe. You know, your upbringing is so chaotic. You know, granted, I've heard some of your stories. Your stuff is a lot more, sporadic and just chaos too. You know, but like, who knows why you do comedy, right? Like, the easy answer is like, I was trying to make my mother laugh or something like that. I don't know. But I still don't know why I do comedy. I don't know why. I'm drawn to it. I love it. You know, I think I'm funny. Some days I'm not as funny as I think I am. I just think that comedy is the essence. You know, it's who you are. And if you want it, the universe says, yo, you got to go do this. You got to go do this, bro. I mean, your story's crazy. The prison, the drug, and yet still, you're out there telling jokes. That's a genetic thing, bro. Like nothing could have stopped you from doing that. And it's proven that. Everything in your life story, like everything they've thrown at you, you're still up there telling jokes.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You can't. Once you start giving a fuck, they win.
But the problem is people fake not giving a fuck.
Yeah, no, you can't fake.
You have to go through it to not give a fuck. There we go.
You have to go through it.
You have to go through it.
One day I said, I ain't paying no bills.
What?
I ain't paying the government. I ain't paying taxes. I ain't doing shit. I'm doing this my way, bitch. I'll catch you on the rebound.
I'll catch you on the.
You know what I'm saying?
You make me laugh because it's such a New York thing to say.
What do you want me to say? You want me to apologize for my actions? I did my time.
What was that moment where you were like, I've had it. I'm not going back. I'm a different person now.
As soon as I walked out of prison, I knew I wasn't going back. But you can't change somebody overnight. I talk about rehabilitation is a big process to jump. You are who you are. They fucking baptize you because you're born a thief. It's to control your thievery. You know what I'm saying? How much you're going to steal is up to you. After I got out of prison, yeah, I still hustled for about 6 or 7 years. I did illegal things, but not to the point where that if I got caught, I was going to do major time. You know, little drug deals here and 8-ball, just to stay alive. It was shit just to stay alive. Once I got out here and I got to the Comedy Store, I saw there was a little beam of hope. Because for anybody who wants to get their life changed, they just need to see a light of hope.
Little faith, a little belief. This is possible. This is possible.
And now is where discipline comes in. Now is when you got to keep your hands in your pockets. Because that's when, don't let your character ruin your destiny. I didn't know that saying at first. But I learned it and I saw myself do it at the Comedy Store. Like I saw 1,000 things I could rob at the Comedy Store. You know what I'm saying? I saw purses. I saw people making mistakes.
Right.
And
you went from reflex to choice.
To choice. Now this is what I have to do. I'm here. I'm on the AAA league. I'm at the farm team of the Yankees. And there's only one outfielder ahead of me. He's 38. I got this. I'm right here. How can I fuck up now? And that's when you have to remember it's easy to fuck up when you're doing well. That's when you fuck up, when you're doing well. It's not when you're doing bad. You're doing bad. You don't give a fuck about I forgot to pay the light bill. You do dumb shit when you're doing well. That's when you don't think about something. Bam, there you go. And then you know,
problems.
You're on fucking TMZ or you're something.
You lose track of reality. You're almost not connected.
Track of reality. That's why success, sometimes it's fucked up because you have to be ready for it, prepared for it, know how to handle it, and know how to go through it with no stress.
I heard a funny quote from this guy named Michael Beckwith. He said, fate is what's given to you. Destiny is what you do with it.
That's it.
And I found that so impactful. I was like, man, that makes a lot of sense.
Sometimes God opens up the door for you. And we don't have the balls to go through it because we know it's going to change our life, but we're scared of change. We're naturally scared of change. How long did it take you to do comedy and start getting known around the New York area?
8 years, 8, 9 years.
8, 9 years.
8, 9
in
years.
The New York area. Then you went to Montreal.
Then I did Just for Laughs in 2015, and that's when everything kind of kicked off in terms of like on a significant level, so to speak. Got the pilot deal, shot it with NBC, got a bigger agency, and then the pilot doesn't get picked up, and you're left kind of holding your hands. You're like, yo, it's such a massive disappointment because you're thinking this is a great opportunity to tell a specific story from New York. As someone from New York, you get it. Like the stuff you're talking about, the rats and all that stuff, like people don't understand, man. Like for people like us, like those stories mean so much. It's a moment in New York, and I get it. It was terrible, but it's a moment, and to have that opportunity to share those stories on TV, that's all I wanted. And then when they pull it away from you, you're like, oh God, man. Like I had an opportunity to show a New York dad, to show a New York Latino dad as a super. Like that character, everybody in New York knows him, and how hard he worked and how hard he had to get there, and raising a family in the crack era. You know, my father lived in it was full of crack, the whole building, the whole street, and you got to raise 3 kids with that environment. And to not have that story be told, it was like, it's crushing, bro. You feel like, what's next? Like you go on stage. When my pilot didn't get picked up, I had a gig in Indiana's in Crackers. I was headlining there, and it's one of those weekends where they go, listen, you're headlining, but there's the Indy 500, so no one's coming to your show. So I'm doing a show for like 10 people in Indiana, and I'm like, you go from this high of shooting a pilot, and now you're doing a show for 10 people, and you kind of go, what's real? What's real, man? Like, what the hell's going on? It was such a mind warp for a couple months, man. You know, in therapy and friends and family and all that other stuff, but you know,
it's tough.
It's
and
brutal.
When you're very young, you don't understand. The town throws a lot of stuff at you quickly. While you're shooting a pilot, you get a lot of smoke blown up your ass by people. That makes you a little crazy. And it's a big letdown.
Huge letdown.
And I moved here to shoot a pilot. And I went from having 8 pages of dialogue, because I didn't know I was doing, to 1 line, to basically just standing there. But the pilot was still going to get picked up, hopefully, and then it was CBS's answer to NYPD Blue. It was going to be a drama, a little bit of comedy. And they put $2 million into it. They paid the director $2 million to shoot it, because it was a really good director. I forget what his name was, and it didn't get picked up. Was I disappointed? Yes. Yeah, that one killed me, because I expected to get out of my home. I knew it wasn't going to save my life, but I knew it would keep me above ground. 4 episodes at like $8,200 an episode.
Yeah, you make some money. You got some.
It was $32,000. I was looking at $34,000, and you know, when they said no, I was like, "Fuck, that could have been like an apartment, furniture, a down payment on a car. I could pay some child support off."
Buys you time.
It buys you time.
Buys you time.
That's what you're trying to do, is buy time at that. So how do you feel today? Like, how do you feel?
I feel great, man. Just one of those things where like you're blessed to have the opportunity. You have a sense of gratitude about everything. A lot of people don't get to shoot a pilot. You know, these are champagne problems. There's people with bigger problems, and I made a lot of friends. What I did notice when a pilot didn't get picked up was like relationships matter. You know, like friendships matter, and those things matter because pilots come and go, but friendships, memories, who you know, who you don't know. You know, I always tell people, like, stop worrying so much about pitching and worry about connecting with people. Because sometimes the people that get the offers are the ones that they feel most connected with. We can work with this guy, we can succeed with this guy, we can win with this guy. And trying to get the pitch or the opportunity, it's like, you know, you read Kevin Hart's book, right? Kevin Hart book.
I never read it yet.
And he was like in $400,000 in debt, kid on the way, bleak, you know, and through a series of different events and opportunities, he came out the other side. But it was a long journey between when he got Just for Laughs and that $500,000 deal, and when he became Kevin Hart. Like you said, there's no one tells you about the disappointments. Like I was talking to Adam Ferrara one time, and he had a pilot pulled, he shot, and he shared with me his story. I won't tell it because it's his story, but you start to realize that other good comics, the good ones, this is part of the path. The good comics have these major disappointments. Richard Pryor had it when he walked out that show in Vegas. Chappelle had it when he had that Variety magazine thing where they called him a racist. The good comics, they realize when they hit that wall, like, I have nothing else to do. This is it. I got to tell these jokes.
There's no wall.
Right.
That stage and that microphone is always there. And I saw it 1,000 times. I saw 1,000 good comics that came to this town, got a TV deal, fucking basically told us every other comic at all 3 clubs to go fuck themselves.
Wow.
I mean, they drank the fucking juice
Kool-Aid.
right at Montreal. They kind of walked away from comedy. It was a year process. They shot the pilot. They bought a new car. The wife and him bought a new house. And Austin put his shit on, get picked up. And now the comic is in limbo. Now you start to see him 6 months later. He doesn't say much to anybody. He's doing spots. He tries to get on stage, but he quit comedy. He flung his fingers at what got him to the dance.
Right.
You gave a finger to what got you to the dance. I don't give a fuck if you shoot 2 pilots. You make sure to get down to that comedy store Saturday or Sunday nights. Tell Adam the truth. I shoot 2 shows. I gotta just work out once a week. And you keep those chops up. I can name 10 comics today that would have been stars if they didn't drink the fucking juice. And they took off for these reasons and that reason, and they didn't write. And now they want to catch up in the game because their show is gone.
Right.
Their bread and butter is gone. But when they had the opportunity while the show was gone, they never thought about these things because you're trying to retain these people. You're trying for them to come to your show and to come back again, to start a relationship with you on social media. It's a different game today. It's not what it used to be.
When you first got to the Comedy Store, right? You said that was a beacon of light for you.
Beacon of life.
How did you sustain yourself psychologically? Because did you have a goal like I want to get famous, or was it like I'm just gonna keep doing this and see where it takes me?
I just want to keep doing this and see where it takes
Right.
me. There was no thought of fame. There was no thought of movies. There was no thought of films. There was no thought of TV because of my past. I let all my sins get in the way, and I always told myself I wasn't good enough for that shit. So if I'm lucky just to get spots, I was just playing the hand. I was basically playing the hand. I didn't know that. And then I would say 6 more months, and I'd book a commercial. 6 more months, I'd book a commercial. 6 more months, I'd book a commercial. There was always something every 6 months that kept me here.
Crazy.
But the whole time I'm doing 6 spots at the Comedy Store and 2 spots in Willie's room and 2 spots with Felipe in a room on a Sunday night. So I kept getting better at comedy unknowingly.
Just doing it.
Unknowingly, you're just improving. And Montreal don't like you. The 3 agencies don't like you. The top management teams don't like you. You're not perfect for this. You're not right for this. You're not right for that. Okay. Let me take an acting class. I took an acting class, $25 a session. I did that for a few weeks. The guy didn't like comics. Yeah, he didn't like comedians because he had a bad experience with Dice. Frank Magno was his name. And then I joined another acting place, and Josh Wolf got a deal, and he gave me the $500 to join up to the other acting place. And I went to the acting place, and I started booking movies because I knew stand-up, the door was going to be closed on me. So I figured if stand-up was going to close that door, I'll go in through the back door, through acting. But now the rules on acting changed. It used to be when I got it, if you booked 2 TV shows, that's it. Next thing you know, people were buying tickets to go see you. No. And I kept booking and nothing. Got the longest yard. Oh, wait till the movie comes out, bro. Shh. When this movie comes out, bro, you might as well go buy a Porsche right now. I'm tired. Movie came out, nobody called me. Wow. And yeah, I got an agent call me to book me out on the road, but I was getting 60 people walking in, and when I get off stage, there'd be 7 because I'd walk all of them.
Right.
They thought they were going to see an Adam Sandler character. I'm up there talking about pussy and eating fucking assholes with cocaine rocks and choking bitches and shit like that. And they were fucking going out of there. But it's the adjustments you make. This career is all about audibles. You have a plan. You're going to write your plan out. I wrote my plan out for the year already.
Yeah, same here.
To what I want to happen. But there's going to be audibles. Every 90 days, there's going to be an audible. So now you got to switch up that plan now. What you wanted to do in November, now you might have to do in January. Which you follow me?
Yeah, it's course correction.
So this is always audibles. Comedy has a lot of things that a lot of people can't do. Because it's just not getting up on stage and cracking jokes and writing. Then after you get to where you're going, then you got to figure out the strategy to stay the way you are.
Yeah, man.
And to keep improving. And then you got to come up with another strategy, and it's just strategies. This is a game of fucking strategies, if you really think about it. And right now, you're 37. Your first deal was given to you when you were 34.
34, 35, yeah.
34, 35. You know what, man? You might not see another deal now till you're 42.
Who knows?
You'll see it.
Yeah.
You'll see another one, another two. They'll get hot on you from a different angle. The best thing was you never gave up. When I saw you on the stage at Flappers that night, I was so fucking happy. Because I go, this kid never gave up. That's a good point right there. A lot of people after their pilots don't get picked up. They take that.
Oh, they get very bitter too. A lot of guys get bitter.
They get very. I saw tons of people come in the late '90s and early 2000s, and you would feel insecure. Like you'd see these people's lives change. A $500,000 deal, you clear 300. That's an apartment.
That's a nice chunk of change.
That's a nice chunk of change.
That's a nice chunk of change.
Large dog, you know, to get you started in L.A. Put 100 in the bank, let you do sets. You don't got to kill yourself right up front.
The desperation's gone.
Yeah, that desperation's gone. Not everybody gets that. So everybody was getting those, except me.
Can we talk a little bit about? Because I know, Joe, that you said they didn't want you now, and now you won't go or can't go. But like, can you talk about how big Montreal? Like, it's just, I'm wondering what it feels like to kill at Montreal. Like you were talking about going from high to lows, like to kill at Montreal and get a deal there. Like that must be unimaginable.
Number one, it never happens anymore. So I was the rare occasion, and I remember telling my therapist, I was like, yo, I don't know if they're gonna get me up there, they're gonna understand me, that kind of thing. And I crushed up there, you know, and like, what it does for a comic in an external way is that it legitimizes you. You know, you have to legitimize yourself at the end of the day, but externally it's like, oh, this kid is legitimate. He's legitimate stand-up, you know, and the industry takes you seriously. They'll take a meeting with you now. That's what Just for Laughs does, you know, and you meet everybody. Chappelle's walking around. You know, I did a show with Sebastian Maniscalco, and in 2015, when he sold out like 7 shows at this small church, this big show, and it's my first. I was in the back with him and his wife, and at the time I was like, Sebastian was like the guy, you know.
He's still the fucking guy.
He's to stand-ups. Like, he wasn't like as popular, but the stand-ups knew like, oh, Sebastian, you know. And I got to open up for him, and it was this thing of like, you know Sebastian's story, being a waiter at the Four Seasons, and then doing spots at the Comedy Store in between, like, you know, going into debt at one point and having his dad repay him back. I found this stuff out later, but then you meet him and you're like, oh, this is possible. Like, this guy left Chicago to go to LA. Now he's headlining at the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, selling stuff out. He comes from an immigrant family. Like, oh, this is possible. You know, that was what Just for Laughs was like. Oh, this is possible. It's this feeling of like possibility. Like, oh, this can happen. You meet people from all over the world coming here to watch these shows, and it's the biggest comedy festival. You know, and like, the people you meet there, they stay friends for life, and you always go back to that. Like, yo, he and I did New Faces in 2015. You know, and you have those stories to go back on.
Now, when was the first time you showcased from Montreal?
I did it 3 times. I got it the third year.
How many years did you do comedy before you showcased?
I was doing comedy 5 years when I first showcased, and I was doing it 8 when I got it. 8 years in when I got it. 8 years in when I got it. And again, 8 years in New York is a different 8 years. Now, no offense to anybody, but 8 years in New York is doing 4 or 5 sets a night while having a day job. You know what I'm saying?
What were you doing in a day job?
I had several. I was a grants administrator at a nonprofit law firm. I was like an office manager for a small nonprofit. That was my last gig. I had a great boss. His name was Jeremy, and he was super nice. But you're doing these sets till like 3 a.m. and then getting up to go to work. Doing that for years, and doing like shows, driving out to Philadelphia for like $50, driving up to upstate for $100 or whatever it is.
Roger Paul?
I never worked with Roger Paul, but I know of Roger Paul. But there's guys like Tom and Gino at Omnipop. They give you little feature work at the Stress Factory. And those days when you got a feature work, like, I got the feature spot. Like, the feature spot was so dope because you had 6 shows lined up. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You had you were so happy, man. You were getting paid. You're like, I got feature work, And so I was doing that for 8 years, and then I kind of got some heat. But you know what it is. New York is a very different town because of the subway. So you can do a show in Brooklyn, take the subway back to Manhattan. Then you can do a show downtown, Lower East Side, then shoot up back to Times Square, do another show. So that whole time between spots, you're writing. That joke didn't work at this spot. Let me change it up for this show. You'd find it up. Then you go to the comic strip. They'd have a late night thing there. And then, you jump on a spot somebody canceled. LA I find to be very different. You grew here and developed, but I find New York to be more conducive to young comics in terms of developing and getting that muscle.
Yeah, this is not a good place.
It's hard to hear. It's hard to hear.
It's very hard to hear. And you have distractions. The open micers have distractions.
Yes, man.
This open micers, and it's the whole population of them in a way that are in LA start hearing things that they shouldn't.
Right.
You're in conversations that you shouldn't even be worried about.
Right.
So step outside.
Right.
You're in conversations that you...
Correct.
You had 8 years from worried about.
Correct.
This. So go somewhere else.
Correct.
You should not be talking about this. This is the problem you have here. They start, I heard that the Starbucks on Vine, if you do comedy there's an agent that shows up there. That's it. You lost. You can't worry about it. The first 5 years are just to grow. You got to figure out how to get into the dirtiest, scummiest places and make those people laugh, and then worry about. And that's why I don't like comedy here. Trust me, a lot of people have grown and developed
listen,
here.
I've had some terrible shows. I'm sure you had worse, because I always hear stories about comedians. Like, I was doing comedy like 2000s around there, and I would do the quote unquote hood rooms or urban rooms. I was doing shows with crazy stuff. The World Series is on, and you're trying to tell jokes. Like when you say in the trenches, like those things exist.
Those things exist,
and they were worse in your day. Like,
I think
they gotten better now. Like now, guys are doing shows in the back of comic book stores and coffee shops, like it's very warm for the artist, which is great, which I love. But you're right. There were days when you're doing shows in the worst conditions with this dream of like maybe I could do something with this.
Well, you don't want warmth. Looking back at it now, you don't want warmth. You want 5 people to clap and pay attention. You worked hard. You're looking. You're striving. Those 8 years, did you ever feel frustrated?
What I was always struggling with, Joey, and I'm curious to hear what your take on this is. You write this material, right? You write this material in your house. You write it. But then you realize the circumstances change when you get on stage. So it's like you can't work on the material. You got to work on what is needed in that moment. And that's what comedy is. It's like deconstructing yourself up there. 'Cause it's like, what you wrote, put that to the side. It's not going to work here. We want you. We want to see you.
All right,
and so it takes time for that.
You have a piece of material.
Right.
And you bring it up on stage.
When you're first starting out, I mean.
Oh, when you first start.
Yeah, the problem is like.
Different story.
Yeah.
Different game. I wrote horribly the first 10 years.
I'm telling
and I bought all the writing books.
Yes.
Because you got to put work into those writing books, and it's moving that muscle. I would only write down what I thought of. I would sit there with a notebook for an hour and write one thing, and that's good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't keep adding and adding. To me, I could do 2 on here, and I could find 2 other add-ons while I'm working it out on stage, just from their reactions.
Right.
And then you start depending on their reaction, and then one day you get a different reaction. So
let me tell you something else. See what you just talked about? A lot of people don't have.
No. So you're in a fighting stance, okay? You're in a fighting stance. You throw a jab, right? You throw a jab at him. He throws a jab at you. Where's it going to hit? He's aiming over here. So I'm going to take the jab this way, block it, and I'm going to unleash that right hand. I'm not going to get back and throw it. I'm going to block, and with it, I'm going to let it out, right? And then I'm going to give you an inside kick to the leg, and then I'm going to throw another punch at your head. That's what we're doing. That's the setup for today.
Right.
But when you go on stage, you're going to realize.
Here we go.
You're going to realize that fucking leg kick, that first punch, isn't as smooth as you thought.
Right.
You got to take a step back and then throw it.
Yes.
And that punch, guess what? If that punch don't connect, if he goes down, you could scoop his neck and knee him in the face. That's what you realize when you go up on stage. You're not going to get that sitting at your house.
No.
For a guy like me, you're going to get that on stage.
And then you get to a place like chess masters talked about this. Like when they get good, they realize like there's possibilities are endless. Like you said, once you like the possibilities up here are endless.
I tell you something. I don't want to tell you the truth.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm ratting myself out.
Go ahead.
It's like when I do the original room.
Right.
I've legitimately been doing the original room for 20 years.
Interesting.
I couldn't bomb in there, even if I wanted to. I know all the cheat notes of that room. I would never sell them. You know what I'm saying? It would take you a lot to get.
But even if you told them, let's say Vlad,
you're not gonna understand.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to still go do it.
Yes, man.
You're gonna pay me for something that you're gonna have to find.
You could
out.
give me all this. Say Vlad, these are all the cheat codes you could kill.
The cheat codes,
and I wouldn't be able to do it.
I went up in the OR last night and just leveled them, and I'm giggling the whole time because I'm like, this wouldn't work anywhere else.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, I got cheat notes for the original.
But they wouldn't work at other clubs?
The original room has 2 cheat notes that you have to do every time, and you'll get them. And I sit there and I see comics don't do it, and I'm like, it's the fucking original room.
However, though, because you know the cheat codes, here's what happens, though, Joey. You're able to now, you're at a meta level now. Now you're able to genuinely reflect on your craft because you got that out the way.
I got the cheat codes.
I know how to kill this room.
But guess what else I got? If I give you the cheat notes, you're going to go up there and stick to those cheat notes. So if those cheat notes don't work, you're not going to know what to do. I know what to do, even if the cheat notes don't fucking work.
There we go.
So I expect you to duck. But even now, if you don't duck and you stay down, now I got to improvise again. So I know the cheat note for the cheat note. Not because I'm better than you or I'm better than
Just
Lee.
time in the game.
20 years.
Just time in the game.
It's 20 fucking years. You're going to come tell me something about that room? 20 years. I walked in there with every time I go in there, I had to hold
Nervous,
the microphone.
anxious.
You would see the wire.
Am I going to bomb?
It was like killing a snake.
So-and-so just killed the head of me.
Yeah. It was. Oh, no. Forget it.
So so-and-so's watching tonight. What I got to kill tonight. What am I going to do?
No. I died 1,000 deaths in there. So now I know how to live. You know, I was telling George Perez and one of the managers last night at the store, I go, dog, 20 years, I just started getting good in the main room. For 10, I ate dog shit. I would avoid it. I used to beg Mitzi Shore not to put me in there. That's why she'd put me in there. I was so stupid, I should have asked her.
Interesting.
Can you put me in the main room? No.
Make me uncomfortable.
I would tell her, don't put me in there, dog. I don't like it in there. I'm putting you in there, 11:45. You're following Dom Irara. Have a good time. Like, God damn. And in those days, following Dom, you rather shoot yourself.
What did you learn in those dog shit years? Like, what did you learn about yourself?
I learned
because obviously you were funny.
I learned that that no matter what happened, and this applies to life. This is why I love comedy. This is why I can never, ever have a day job. Because I want my day to be different every day, number one. Number two, I want to be striving for a different goal every day. And number three, what happens? This is the house I came from. I came from a Spanish house. That in my house there was a rule. Tú no puedes venir a esta casa que no puedes entrar en esta casa quedado.
Right.
Que alguien te dé. Nunca puedes entrar en esta casa con la mano de alguien encima tuya. What that means is you can never stay hit. I grew up in a house that was fucking put into my mind, drilled as a young man by not a male or a female, which makes it even worse, that you do not come into this house, stay hid. Now, most people are listening to that going, Joe, I don't know what you mean. It means that just because you lost today doesn't mean you're going to lose tomorrow. When you're an open micer, the first 5-6 years, listen to me. You know those Vietnam vets that got held over in Hanoi? They even feel better than you do. Okay?
Joey, could you go back, like looking at it now, could you go back and do what you did to get into comedy? Do you think you have the wherewithal to go through that again?
I didn't have a choice. I didn't have
Right.
else going for me. There was no way I was going to work for an electrician for 8 years before I could open up my own company. I didn't have the time. I knew the cocaine would kill me. I knew the cocaine, the ghost in my closets, me pulling the gun on somebody by mistake one night, me getting desperate, were going to kill me. I needed something to save me. And this is what it was. So you're going to go out some nights and bomb 3 times.
Yeah, man.
In life, you're going to go out and interview 4 days.
And bomb.
You're going to go for 3 interviews on Monday, 2 on Tuesday.
On dates. You're going to go on dates and bomb.
You're going to bomb in everything.
People bomb in life. People forget that.
How many times you go on a date, the chick is hot, you start taking off her pants, you know what I'm saying? She pulls an I'm sorry, she sucks your pipe, then you eat her pussy, blah, 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 blah. And she's nice. Afterwards, she talks to you and she's nice. And you say, let's do this again. And she's not a whore. She's just a fun chick. But once you take her home, when you get back in the car, you go, damn, I forgot to pull her hair. God damn, I forgot to give her my special.
That's my move.
I forgot to put my finger in her ass and turn her into a popsicle and eat her pussy and pick her up. And then, so what do? You go back the next night, you take her to the movie, you're sitting there throughout the whole movie anxious. Tonight I'm really going to give a dick. Tonight, you don't even know what the
performance anxiety, right?
Yeah, you just fucking sitting there. And my point is that you go home at night, you feel bad. Bro, my day, when I first started comedy, I had so many bad things going through me. I was in the process of losing my daughter.
Sorry to hear
I was broke. I owed $200,000 in debt. I had nothing going for me. I was a junkie. I didn't want to end up that fucking old guy with nothing. So the stakes were that high. So when I would come home those nights, I would get a gram of coke. I would get a notebook like this. I would open up a newspaper that was called something. That was a comedy newspaper that was at every comedy club. And I would look through the names of the clubs that I wanted to perform at: the Seattle Comedy, the Denver Comedy Works, Punchline, San Francisco. And I would write them down in a notebook. And I still remember my tears hitting the page as me going, Sunday I'm going to play in these clubs. So what did I bomb tonight? I'm going to show them tomorrow.
Wow.
I became like a serial killer. You know those kids?
Yeah, man.
Kill the kids.
Revenge.
And it was all about comedy. My fucking focus was comedy. Tomorrow you're going to go out and be better than when you went
Still
today.
dreaming.
Yeah. Today I did 13 minutes. Next Monday I'm going to do 17 minutes. Or, you know, just talking yourself on and then reading it and seeing the strength of that, those words
man.
into your eyes.
Rock bottom.
Rock bottom. So in my house, you don't stay hid. If you're part of the church, you never stay hid. So what? You had a bad day. So what? Everybody has them. And guess what? How about if you have 2 bad days? How about if you bomb 6 times in 2 days? Do you quit? No. You go home. You get a notebook. I don't want you to bail on your material. I don't really want you to bail on your material. If this is what's coming to your heart, I just want you how to present it to me. You're not presenting it to me right. I'm sick and tired of fucking, hey, are the audiences in Austin any different from they are in New York?
Nah, man.
They're human beings.
They're human beings.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
These are the general young comic
I know exactly what you're saying.
The audience was stiff. Audience is never stiff. It's you and those 8 stiffs that you hang out with that are fucking stiff. The audience is great. How do you know? Because after all 9 of years, a guy with a pulse came in and got a standing ovation.
A guy with a pulse came.
A guy with a pulse. All he did was breathe into a glass and jump up and down with a flashlight, and he got a standing ovation. And you 9 mutages couldn't even get a fucking look out of the guy. But instead of those 9 guys going home and saying, writing on their journal, the audience was kind of stiff going, no, I sucked. What can I do to make it better? What jokes did I try? This. Let's add a tag here. Let's move this around. Let's try this new joke in the middle instead of opening up this new joke, which I think is garbage. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
And that's the process.
Every day. I can't imagine. You guys in New York are savages because you go from set to set doing this.
It's set to set.
I do it at the store. Thursday, I got to go to the store. I already have something I want to try. But I forgot to try last night. About fucking how Irish people are pedophile, future pedophile. You know, I don't know. It was,
It was juicy though. It was juicy.
It was juicy. I'll get you out of here.
I gotta run it. Yeah.
You have any dates?
Right now, no. I'm in LA for pilot season.
Okay,
so
listen.
I'm clear for February.
I want you to come back on before.
I'd love to come back on.
You leave to New York, which is a month. I never had people turn around because I want to hear more about you. I like the Spanish faith that you have. I like that you're educated. You came from good stock. You're Dominican. Dominicans should be proud and shit. Do you remember when they fucking threw the toilet off the roof and killed the rookie cop on 181st Street?
No.
That's when Dominicans were savages. 1990. No, I'm sorry. They didn't take, they right under. So it's Broadway. What's behind Broadway?
Wadsworth?
Before, if I'm coming from Jersey on the George Washington Bridge, Fort Washington.
Right, Broadway.
Yeah. What's that street?
Pinehurst.
They fucking took a spackle bucket. Remember when the Dominicans were lookouts on the roofs? And if they would see the cops, they would take 5-gallon spackle buckets and throw it, and they killed the fucking cop with a spackle bucket.
It's crazy, bro.
That's 1993, bro. That's when Dominicans got a lock on the fucking Upper West Side. I used to get all my coke, all that. I used to get off at Port Authority, walk to the corner, and then walk down. And those buildings that you see as you're about to hit New York, right there, they were right there. Easy access, you walk in, you could double park and get right back on the bridge, but you never took the car in back because then they had impounded. So you came over on the George Washington and you went back on the Lincoln. You stopped and got a hot dog on 11th Avenue and killed time so that you were off the clock. Vladimir, I love that you made them. Any dates coming up?
No, I'm in LA for pilot season. I'm working in LA. Okay. Comedy Magic Club, Laugh Factory. So I'm around. My website is laughingvlad.com.
Laughingvlad.com. Yeah. It was a real pleasure. You're a phenomenal young man with a great fucking future ahead of you.
Thank you, brother.
I see it already.
And you know, we're boys, man. You know what I mean?
I love you to death. Thanks for stopping in today, man.
Thanks for having me, man. It's great.
All right. I want to thank my man Vladimir Caamaño for a very interesting podcast today. Great kid. I love him to death. Don't forget, I'll be at the San Jose Improv. Tickets are just left for Valentine's Day and for Friday late. That's it, or Friday early, one of those shows. Saturday's gone and late's gone. I don't know what the fuck it is. Get whatever you got left, you fucking savages. You know I love you. I can't wait to go to San Jose's, get that fucking original Joe's. Then on February 22nd, Viva Las Vegas. I'm in motherfucking
Treasure Island.
Treasure motherfucking Island with my girl Kate Quigley. And then we go over to the Fox Tucson Theater. The Fox Theater in Tucson with my girl Kate Quigley. Tempe, Phoenix, I'm not coming there this year. So if you want to see your uncle, you got to come to fucking Tucson and eat some tacos with me, all right? So I either see you at the Fox Theater in Tucson, Treasure Island in Las Vegas, or the San Jose Improv. Listen, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors real quick. First of all, I want to welcome Manscaped. Listen, there's nothing more scarier than shaving your nutsack or your dick sack around your dick. Nothing more scarier. I use my wife because I don't trust myself. For years, I couldn't see it because of my stomach, but now I can see it. But I still use my wife, and the whole time I look straight ahead, and I pray, and I think of everything that I've done that's fucking bad in my life. But guess what? You don't got to suffer anymore. With Manscaped, you could get it done without the pain, the fucking anxiety, the fucking slaminka juice. They got precision tools for your motherfucking family jewels. You understand me? Manscaped has redesigned the electric razor. The Lawnmower 2.0 is a handheld razor with skin-safe technology, so it won't nick or snag your balls or that fucking baseball bat you got for a dick. This bad boy will leave your helmet and nutsack clean, smooth, and pain-free. Plus, it's rechargeable and easy to hold, so you can get into all the nooks and fucking crannies and pick up your leg like a cat and get in between your asshole and your nutsack. There's a little area called the Stink Festival. That's where those little stinky hairs grow. You want to get that down. And they got a classic safety razor called the Plow that will give you a smooth shave without the bumps. You understand me? You ever go down on a chick and she's got those razor mooks? You don't need those things. You will not get them with Manscaped. And you know what they say? If you trim the hedges, the tree looks fucking taller. So that means if you got a 2-inch dick, you're running with 6 now. They don't know nothing about mathematics. Ga. Anyway, at manscaped.com, you got everything you need to make your balls and dick shine and look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's like looking at the flag. It's just out there, a fucking pole of death. If this is the first time you've considered manscaping, they got the deal for you. It's called the Perfect Package. It comes with the lawnmower and the plow, plus the crop preserver, a specially formulated anti-chafing deodorant for your balls so they don't stink like fucking 10 dead fucking Iranians. And they got the Reviver, a spritz that tones and refreshes your junk to keep your dick and your ball sack nice and cool and fresh. It's like putting Bengay on your balls, but not really. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm doing for you guys is this. Listen to the church family, all you fucking savages. And you need to listen. If you don't get one, I'm going to be pissed off at you motherfuckers. Because I want my church soldiers I want your dicks and your assholes and your fucking ball sacks to look tip-top magoo. So the church family can get 20% off your first order when you use promo code CHURCH at manscaped.com. That's manscaped.com. That's manscaped.com. manscaped.com. And if you order the Perfect Package, that includes the lawnmower, the plow, the crop preserver, and the Reviver. Listen, I'm 56. I need the Reviver. I throw a little of that fucking holy water on my dick. It just fucking moves around like a dead fish out on the fucking plank. Anyway, go to manscaped.com, use promo code CHURCH, and get 20 motherfucking % off your first order. Wash your balls, shave your balls. You want to pick up chicks, this is the way to do it. With a nice clean helmet and if you want to put like a fucking diamond above your dick, I'm sure you can do it. They have a booklet somewhere. Go to manscaped.com right now. Go to manscaped.com right now. I also want to thank Onnit. Number one when it comes to supplements in my world. You understand me? Alpha Brain. You get 100% off and they don't even want the product back. Who the fuck does that? You got any friends that do that? Fuck no. That's why I trust on it. Whether it's the Shroom Tech Sport, the Shroom Tech Immune, they got those daily vitamin packages that are tremendous. The Mexican chocolate protein. You have no fucking idea what you're missing. You understand me? I trust Aubrey with all my fucking heart. That guy goes all over the world looking for the best of the best. So if you're looking to be the best, you got to eat what the best is eating. Go to Onnit.com right now and press in.
Church.
And get 10% off your order delivered to your motherfucking house, all right? Listen, it's a beautiful day to be alive. Thank you for listening to the Church of What's Happening Now. See you Wednesday or Thursday. Don't sweat nothing. That's it. I'll see you motherfuckers soon. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. I love you.